Welcome back to Just Lala Unfiltered. We're going to get into some spicy, I call it kitchen table talk today. But I want to say thank you for returning. Thank you for showing up for me. And thank you for showing up for yourselves. I have a wonderful returning guest of my best friend, entrepreneur, mom, loving sister, daughter, and all of the things. Join me back today. We have Nikita. How you doing today?
Hey,
So I like to start by asking, how was your week and how you feeling today?
I feel awesome and I had a good week. It's been
Okay.
productive.
Awesome. Any new things you want to celebrate? Any new things you want to talk about, or you want to just keep it under wraps for a while?
Um,
You got some new houses on the market. I mean, you got
I
things going
do, I
on.
do. So yeah, I just purchased some land on the island and I also have some houses for sale, East Detroit.
All right. Well, the east
Just
side
went
of
on the
Detroit.
market.
She got some homes on the market. If you're interested, you can DM me or you can hit her up at Nikita Stanford. I think that's all of your social media is correct. If you're interested in
Yes.
um, purchasing a home or renting, she has rentals as well. I don't know if she has anything available, but she has those as well. So if that's what you're interested, please feel free to reach out. Moving on. Hmm. Y'all want to get into some things? So, today's topic is one that is a little bit taboo, but I get asked a lot of questions about this. The ring. They always want to talk about the ring. How did you get the man? Today, I'm going to give you my top secret on how you can get the ring. So, today's topic is a wifey material. Are you wifey material or are you just, the fun girl and marriage is not your thing? We're going to dive into the topic, talk about some things that will make you characteristics that men look for because I have gotten some men, I spoke to a few, got their opinions on it, and I want to dive into that topic today. And I want to tell you some things I did, some things that I do, and also, get your comments. Please comment, like, subscribe, and tell me what you think. Are you a fun girl? Do you want to be 40-year-old single woman, or do you want to be married, settled with kids? Either way is fine. It's whatever you choose, as long as you're happy. But we're gonna talk about the ring. So, what do you think? What's going on? What do you think as good characteristics for a wife? What do you think a wife should bring to the table?
Um, so I think that there are some basic things in the pyramid that a woman should bring to the table, or a wife, a woman, period, first being a woman, but also to be considered someone's wife. I think it would depend on the individuals. So I'm thinking some basic things should be some things that you are taught as a child, and not everybody is taught the same thing or raised the same way, and not every man is looking for the same qualities in a woman. So I would say those things that people would typically look for, like cooking, cleaning, etc. But not every man is looking for those things. There are men that's willing to hire housekeeping and cooks and a number of things. I think a woman needs to learn how to let him allow a man to lead if he can be a leader, and also to put God first and pray with her family and to be a helpmate, to be more supportive. She has to have a lot of patience and understanding and be a listener.
I agree. And also, I think that today's society, social media influences a lot of perspectives. A lot of women want to have the engagements, the photos, and things like that. They look at it like it's a status symbol to have the big roses, the flowers, the huge engagement, and the big wedding and the bridesmaids. But what about, did anybody think about the marriage? We did the engagement, the big engagement, we did all of these things. We did the big wedding, but who are those things really for? Do you want to do that for yourself, or are you trying to look good for other people? Because you have to pour into the marriage. The wedding day is literally one day, but your marriage is supposed to be forever. And a lot of women, I feel, and men aren't prepared for the forever. It's for the right now. So I want to go into some things that are discussed, the differences between the wedding and the marriage, okay? So the wedding day, as I stated, is one day. So the energy and time and money you pour into planning the wedding, um, it overshadows preparing mentally, emotionally, and spiritually for preparing you to be a wife. I always tell women that ask me, because I get this question a lot more than I ever thought I would. And I'm by no means a marriage specialist, a marriage therapist, or anything to that nature. We work on our marriage daily, but we have grown together and we tailor fit our marriage just for us. So what works for me and my husband may not work for you and yours. Okay. So that is one of the main things I want to share about just being married. And excuse me. And a lot of people invest into the optics of being married, but don't invest into the marriage itself, meaning preparing yourself, praying over your marriage, praying with your husband, praying over your kids. It's so many different things that come into play when you want to actually have a healthy marriage. And again, by no means am I expert. I am living and learning every single day. So traditionally, you mentioned with wifey material and being a wife is cooking, cleaning, serving. That is like the modern perspective. But a lot of women these days want to be the boss. So do you think you can be the boss and be a submissive wife?
So to be honest, I was already married before, and no, I did not understand how to be both. And that is something I'm working on now. So if I were ever be married again, then I would do things differently. I honestly never knew how to be both. And I think that's kind of difficult for women to distinguish, especially if you in a marriage and you make more money, or just being independent and being able to provide everything for yourself materialistically and with paying bills, etc. But it's just so much more to a relationship or a marriage that I didn't realize until like a few years ago. It took me a long while, number of things, because you got to just really like love a person and care about them and want to respect them. And I think that some of those things go out the door when a woman is over independent. And sometimes we have to set some things back and really reflect on how we speak to a man in general. But also, you, in the marriage, you got to find a man that is capable of leading the household, even in spite of his income being lower than yours.
I agree. I think that men or some men feel less of a man if their woman is more financially stable or their income is a little bit more than theirs. However, I like to talk about when it comes to being a wife, a lot of women want to be this perfect wife, but there is no such thing. You should be, my opinion, a prepared wife. Not necessarily perfect, because perfection does not exist, right? We can aim for those things, but it's non-existent, right? So the hard question I want to ask you guys, and I had to ask myself, do I communicate well? Am I willing to compromise without over talking? Do I listen to my gut feeling when it comes to making decisions? Am I allowing him to lead the household overall without overshadowing his masculinity by me being an entrepreneur, a businesswoman, independent, owning property? Am I allowing him to fit into my space, or are we creating our own space? Am I able to work through trauma with him? And of course, I've decided my personal self to get into therapy to work on my own trauma without him to make me a better wife and a prepared wife. These questions aren't cute, but they are necessary in order to be prepared for the journey, because you got to realize, regardless if you're getting married in your 30s, 20s, 40s, 50s, you are entering into a covenant with someone, whether you believe in whatever you believe in. But I believe in God, and I feel like in that covenant, it's to be taken seriously, not lightly. So when you devote yourself to someone, you should be dedicated to that commitment on both parts. So I'm not a man. I can't speak from the husband's, perspective, but I did talk to a couple. And what they want from us women is to be better listeners, better supporters, and just respect their manhood overall and allow them to be able to lead us. Because sometimes you own multiple businesses. I own a couple businesses, and I was a maid woman before I was a wife. I also was a mom before I was a wife. So sometimes I have to check myself. My husband should take priority over some things sometimes. We don't live in a household where, I have to take him his plate for everybody else like he's the king of all kings. No, it's called compromise. He understands that kids can't fend for themselves. He a grown man. He can't. But I do treat him like the king of our castle. But he understands, no, you go feed the kids first, but I fix his plate as well. I am that submissive wife. I fold his clothes, I clean his clothes, I clean up. I do all of the things because that's what I want to do. Was it a requirement? I don't think so. But it's what I want to do to make my husband continue to feel like the king of my castle. How do you go about making your husband or your king or whomever you're with feel like they're important and a priority to you?
I think that you would, like how you said, things that you doing for your husband may not necessarily be a requirement. So, but I'm sure that those things make him happy. Even if you could have somebody else do it, that you enjoy doing it, sure that also makes him happy. If he knows that you enjoy doing it yourself. I'm actually learning this submissive thing. I ain't about to sit here and lie. So, but I am realizing that it's kind of like applying for a job. When you apply for jobs after you graduate college and you become overqualified for certain positions. If you graduate with a master's degree, you overqualified to work at a fast food restaurant or a shoe store. They not even about to pay you what it is that you work for, may not even hire you at all. Yet then you don't realize how underqualified you really are when you apply for some other positions, because now you have the degree, but you don't come with the years of experience. And I feel like that's what I'm learning right now with trying to balance things. And with the type of attitude that I had before was everything is mine, and the number of things that I could do and provide for myself. So I didn't feel like it was anybody I needed. I don't need to be submissive to you. But now, at some point, that like I want to be with the person that with now. I want to be that person. I want to learn that. So it's a day by day thing for me.
And like I tell all the women that ask me about my husband and not too much about how our day to day go, it is most women. I hate to say this, but the people that I see on social media, they want the social media status. They want it to look perfect. They want the ring and all these things, but they want these things without doing the work. Being married, I hate to tell you, sweetie, and I'm going to hold your hand when I say this, it's work. It's work. But it's fulfilling, it's loving, and there's so many benefits. My husband's told me to tell you guys, you women that's listening, if you want a man to take care of you, stop looking for the rich nigga. Stop looking for the guy with the biggest bag and look for the guy with the biggest heart. Make sure he got morals, he has a job, has ambition, and that man, your motivation and support will make him want to secure the bag and want to take care of you and want to retire you. Encourage him, pour into him, pray for him, pray with him. These are things that's coming from a married man. These are things that he says he values with me. So if that is something you inspire to have, look at yourself and say, because I had to do this stuff. I had to have the hard conversations with me, just like my friend just said. I didn't do those things before, but I have someone that's motivating me to want to do those things now. It takes time. Being married, you work on it every day. And I see, the social media, oh, I don't need a man. Oh, I can just be single, whatever. You can be, and that's good for you. But I love the vacations with my husband. I love vacationing with my kids. I love cuddling and rubbing my feet together and reading the Bible, reading a book, watching a good movie. That's what I enjoy. Now, if you like your single life, sipping margaritas by yourself, by all means, baby, do you. But that wasn't the life for me. That's not what I aspire for myself. I don't want to be too bossy that I run off every man in my life. I don't want to be too bossy where I wake up in a nursing home, just me, the TV, and the CNA. No, 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 no. I want to be somewhere retired with my husband and my family and people who love me and who pour into me. And we have to chill with the mouth. The men don't like that mouth. They don't like all that why. They don't want to hear all of that. Yes, you could be right, but sometimes just chill. Pick your battles. Every battle not your battle, baby. Pick your battles. You can't argue and nag a man all the time and expect to come home to a happy man or him to want to come home. I create a space that make my husband want to be there. I create a space that's comfortable and loving and it's clean, it smells good, and I'm not on his back. Every single day I ask my husband, how was your day? Every single day I say, is it something that you need for me to do? You want me to cook something additional? What do you need from me today? Every day and every week we talk. We have a conversation on Sundays about what made us unhappy this week. Is it something I could change? Is it something that I can do to make this better or whatever? I just feel like social media is ruining a lot of things, is how I feel, because nothing is perfect. In order to have a good marriage, and I say healthy, because nothing is perfect, you have to work at it. You have to be dedicated. Now, I met quite a few women. Marriage ain't my thing, and the blah, blah, blah. Hey, this is a free world, I think. So make your decisions how you need to. But again, I love being married and I love having someone that motivates me to want to be a better person daily. And if that's not you, just like owning a home, it's not for everybody. It may not be your cup of tea. But what I will say is think about it. And when you get with that person, don't force it. It's just going to flow. It's going to feel good. And trust me, I have talked to some people that wants a certain look, a certain car, a certain career. It's all of these things they want this man to feel. But what are you? Did you look in the mirror? Are you supportive, caring? Are you everything that you want him to be? How was your career? How was your credit score? How was your communication? Do you have a healthy relationship with your mother? You know, I feel like us women fail to look in the mirror. And I try my hardest every day to see, can I be a better wife, a better friend, a better mom, a better daughter? I try to reassess the situation and see what I could do better in most situations. So you mentioned a new feeling that you're feeling right now. Do you think that you're prepared to be submissive and all these things, or are you preparing and trying to just figure it out to see, is this something you could do for a lifetime? Like cater and take a step back and all the things that I think are required to have a healthy relationship, not just marriage.
Yes, I'm definitely ready for a change. I'm tired of being like always mad and bitter or getting upset so quick about everything and ready to end things. And I want to be a better person and a better wife someday. It's the same thing that I want somebody to pour into me. It's the same thing I want to get back. And I know that every day it's not like every day is not sweet. And I want to learn how to control my emotions and not be the type of person that's just upset about everything. I don't really be upset, but I have zero tolerance. And I'm just like, I don't have to deal with this, that, and other. Going back to saying when a woman has been independent and on her own. And I don't want to be that person that spend the rest of their life by themselves. And even if I had, it's probably so many men that are willing to be with me or another woman that's like myself, and not be happy all the time. But I definitely want to be with somebody that's happy to be with me, as you said, and creating that safe space and that peace at home where he wants to come home. He want to spend time with me, and it's not something you're just doing because you feel an obligation to do so, but that we just genuinely want to be with each other every day. I'm not saying that every day is the best day, but that every day you love this person more and more. That's exactly the type of love that I want. And I definitely want to. I want to be the type of wife that I would want my son to marry. Somebody who respect them and love them and make home peaceful and happy for him.
I love that perspective. And I cannot wait to lose 40 before 40 so I can be in this wedding, child. But I love that perspective. I just decided on this particular topic because I get so many questions. It's about the ring. You guys, I worked my ass off for this ring, okay? I work every day for this ring. It's a nonstop, but it's one of the best jobs I could ever have. Is being my husband's wife and being my daughter's mom. I love those jobs with all of my heart, and also being my bonus son's mom, his inspiration, and it's someone he can kick it with. Just the extra. I love that. I love my little family dynamic. I love the home that we created, but it's work. But it's my favorite job in the entire world. Waking up to my best friend, going to sleep with my best friend. Oh, could you imagine actually being somewhere where you want to be? I get phone calls all the time. Go here, go there. No, I want to be at home in my safe space that we created with my husband. I just want to be with my husband. And I pray that you guys find someone who you just want to be with. Even if we are quiet, he's my favorite person to be quiet with. So I want that for you guys too. I think everybody deserves to be loved, respected, and supported. But before we close out, would you like to say anything else to our beautiful guests or our viewers?
So, ladies, before you become submissive to a man, make sure that man is worthy of being submissive to him. Before you follow, make sure that he can lead.
I agree.
And then just learn to be a team. It doesn't have to be one leader and one follower. It's a team. It's definitely work. Any relationship worth having is work, whether it's just friendships, relationships that you have with your children, any relationship that you have with anybody is work. It don't come that easy every day. But as she said, it doesn't come that painful either. It's not something that has to be forced. When there is an issue that you absolutely want to fix, it has to be two people. And the whole thing about being submissive does not just go with those examples that we've been taught as children, cooking, cleaning, those things. It's about being there for somebody, being a best friend, and being in a space where it doesn't matter what y'all have or what y'all doing, that y'all can enjoy each other's company, and just being that person that they feel they can rely on, just being encouraging, motivating, peaceful. And if you want to have any of those things with anybody, your spouse would be the number one person to share those things with.
I agree. Before we close, I want to introduce you guys to somebody. Come here. Come on. Come on. I have a special guest in the studio, and she wants to say hi. Say hi. Say hi.
Hi.
So this is my other bestie other than my husband. She's always supporting me. She's always with me. And I just wanted her to meet you guys and you to meet my other half. And before we close, I would just like to say marriage isn't built on likes, followers, bridesmaids, or the huge wedding. It's built on patience, love, support, of course, God first, and respect. So thank you guys for tuning in. Thank you for showing up for me. Thank you for showing up for yourself. And remember, Just Lala Unfiltered podcast is being real, being raw, authentic, and is not an exception. It's the standard here. Thank you for watching. See you next time. Bye. Say bye.
Bye.
She's so dark.